You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network. Now the largest new media platform on the web and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Johnson.
The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Vampire Diaries After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Vampire Diaries After Show.
And suddenly, to my surprise,
You gotta stop doing that.
the monster mash.
Happy Halloween, everybody. Welcome to the Vampire Diaries After Show, Season 5, Episode 5, The Monster Ball. Do you know how to do the what is the actual Monster Mash?
There is no, it's just you act like a monster.
Any monster?
Any monster you want to, whatever this is.
Okay, so what monster is that? A zombie?
T-Rex.
We'll have to put your arms in like this. Yeah. I love Roxy's face right now. And just so you know, this is being documented and will be online for.
And she's back.
All right, guys, it is your boy DJ Jesse Janedy, joined in studio by my lovely co-host Krysten Snyder.
Hello, happy Halloween.
The gorgeous Paige Sullivan.
Hi, everyone.
And the remarkable Roxy Striar.
Hello, happy Halloween.
Dracula and his son.
What, too much? Too much?
I don't know.
You
how
sound like
I
me right
really
now.
Feel about this episode. I feel like last week was so good.
Oh, yeah.
You tell.
They feeling the soul from the Monster Mash. I feel like last week's was so
what?
good. I'm not even gonna go there with you, actually. Last week was so good that I feel like this week. It had its moments. I feel like it was informative because we've been questioning a lot of stuff. I feel like, I guess I'm mirroring it to the originals, which I shouldn't be doing.
Nope.
My problem with
Welcome to the musical after show. Can we do that one?
Yeah. Can this be a dancing party?
No. Okay, the reason that I had a problem with that episode tonight was because there wasn't a single moment to me that was like, you know, like those moments that I love between Damon and Elena or anything like that. Like, I didn't get my whatever
She didn't get her moment.
I didn't get my moment.
I liked it. I felt like we learned a lot. As much as it wasn't that impact that
very
I wanted.
informative.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, says the girl with the glasses on. Okay.
Yes, indeed.
We learned a lot. Is all I'm saying.
We did.
doesn't need
no,
a
that's what I'm
costume.
saying. That's why I liked it. But
Yeah, it didn't have the impact that maybe we were used to, and it didn't have that wow factor. But I think this is just leading up to what we're going to find out. It
was necessary.
Yeah, it's putting the pieces together for us, and you can't get that with too much emotion.
I am so excited that Silas is going to die. That's all I can say, honestly. I'm excited he was kind of dead, and he's going to die
he's
next
not
week.
dying.
There's
He's
no
not
way.
dying.
There's no way that's.
I think he is.
You do?
I think we're done
It's
with the Silas
time.
story.
No.
I think there's going to be a bigger power coming
Actually,
in.
I agree with you, because if Silas dies, then we can focus on what's going on at Whitmore and that
Yeah.
scenario.
I don't think he's
I
gonna
need
die
you guys
next
to
week.
really watch Buffy. Like, I know you guys are
We will
probably
watch
sick
it.
and tired of me, but
You
you've
and
seen
everybody
it, right?
on Twitter. I mean,
You told me
Okay.
to, so I watched the pilot.
Just
but I
this
didn't get
whole
past it.
Dr. Maxfield thing and the Whitmore
Yeah.
High thing, it's just so when Buffy went to college, the new monster was at the like, it's just so crazy.
Well, let
They're
me
doing
tell
an
you.
amazing job, though, honestly, but
I will
it's
watch
so
it.
interesting.
I will watch Buffy over the hiatus. Right now, there's too many shows.
Here's what I-
Too many.
I was just kind of like appeasing you before when you said watch Buffy. I was like, yeah, I'll do it. The amount of tweets I got
told
after
you.
last week about it, I'm actually gonna sit down and watch.
Yeah.
Let's have a
That's for
Buffy
you
party,
guys.
okay? Buffy party.
I'm so down.
party.
We will document it.
You never know what happens at the Buffy party. All right. Okay, so the moment that I think
Okay.
why I didn't like this episode, honestly, I just dropped that whole subject because I was gonna go somewhere and I remembered.
I
this
went
is
there with
Vampire
my
Diaries.
eyes.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I think what ruined this episode for me, but I understand why we needed it. was the whole Caroline and Tyler thing. I get we need it because we're going to get our first crossover.
Like 2 weeks ago.
But we're going to get our crossover for the originals.
And we think it's Tyler.
Yeah, because for those of you who don't watch the originals, we had an interview with a star on the originals, and she said there will be a Vampire Diaries crossover.
Within the next couple
episodes, and he's going after Klaus, so it seems as though he'll be on the originals.
And those of you who do watch the originals, that was with Daniela Pineda, and it was on Tuesday if you want to go back and find the interview.
Yeah, I didn't like it either. I really have a bone to pick with Tyler. If you're going there to break her heart as much as you don't want to and as much as you love her, do not sleep with her. And do not sleep with her over and over and over again.
times.
Like, I get the first time you see each other, and it's like, oh my god, the instance, right. But then it's like,
to continue
sex,
doing
like,
it.
calm down.
And he's like, I'm so happy I'm here right now, you know?
Get it? That's why, oh no, it wasn't called the Monster Mash, never mind. They did the Monster Mash.
They did do the Monster Mash, and then we did the Monster Mash here at AfterBuzz.
I just think
we did the mash.
It was a graveyard smash, guys.
Not that kind of Monster Mash.
Oh, you never know what happens in the Buffy behind the scenes. What was that?
Our confession booth.
Oh, yeah. Okay, but here's my problem. I know you guys seem to be anti-Tyler recently. I really like Tyler, so I hope that he does make the move so you guys can get on Team Tyler again and like his character. I like him. I enjoy him. First of all, he's not too hard to look at. And second of all, I think that he really... I like characters that there's a bigger thing than love. You know, there's something more to life than being happy and being in love.
But should the hatred be the emotion that trumps love? And also,
revenge?
For you to say this is big because you're such a huge Klaus fan. He's literally going there to kill Klaus.
I understand that, but obviously he's not going to be successful.
No, but he'll...
you're gonna have
I'm okay with it because he'll fail.
Okay.
So you're okay with Tyler being on the show so he can die
basically
on the originals.
Because Klaus has been not killing...
Look at Roxy's... her gears are grinding right now.
The only reason Klaus didn't kill Tyler is because of Caroline.
Okay, here's the thing.
And now you just broke Caroline's heart, which is going to give Klaus even more...
If you watch the originals and you watch our after show, you know that something's coming to the originals that we haven't seen yet. So what I believe is that Klaus and Tyler are going to end up being on the same team.
For the time being. Until it's no longer convenient for Klaus.
I mean, maybe they'll need a werewolf to protect Haley or whatever.
We'll find out, but I just didn't like the way Tyler did it.
I agree with that.
Showed up and said, I'm here for you, I'm sorry about this, but, you know, I still need to finish other things.
Or showed up and said, I'm here because Bonnie passed away, I'm not here for you.
What? That would have hurt.
Yeah. I'm here for another woman, basically.
Not phrasing it like that, but saying, I don't want you to think I'm back in town because I want to get back together. I'm here to support you.
They never ended.
Well, the thing is, it's not that he doesn't love her, though.
No, he hates Klaus.
Yeah, but he does love Caroline. So the fact that he came back and fell into it wasn't some like ploy, as we girls like to see that. He really does feel that way.
I mean, this was literally heartbreaking to me. Her line is, stay, be the love of my life, love me more than you hate him. And he says, I can't.
That's
I can't.
crazy.
Like, think about the person that you think is the love of your life, and then saying that, it's just like so gut-wrenching.
But also at the same time, it's like he lost his mother. I mean, his mother was all he had for a long time.
That's what I'm talking about. I like when characters have something more than just like, I'm in love and I'm happy and I'm ignorant, whatever it is.
Yeah, I think it hurts for Caroline that he's leaving. I see why he's leaving. I think there is something, a driving force, and it is the fact that Klaus took his mother from him. That's the person who brought him into this life and raised him and gave him everything. So I don't think Tyler's bad for, you know, leaving Caroline behind so he can pursue this.
It's how he went about it.
It's how he went about it. And I know, like what you're saying, Krysten, it is hard when you fall into a routine with somebody you're used to, but as a viewer, it's like gut-wrenching to know that's what's happening.
Yeah, because how would you feel if Damon was like, you know what, Elena, I'm sorry, but it's more important for me to go seek revenge on somebody, and then left Elena?
Obviously, I wouldn't be okay with that, Jesse.
Well, why? I thought you loved characters with a bigger meaning.
Because I love Damon and Elena together. I don't love Caroline and Tyler together.
Well, and Damon was doing that for like the first few seasons. So it's like now it's time that they are together, and he's not that guy anymore.
Well, he's leaving, so
I just feel like hopefully they develop Tyler more, because I don't feel like
his character's so like purgatory.
And now that he's done this to Caroline, why the hell are we going to root for him?
But we're not.
We love Caroline.
But also remember,
we do love Caroline.
Also remember Tyler and Haley's
have a connection.
Right, but they never. We thought they hooked up, but they never really did.
No, but he did help her learn how to control her werewolf status. So she doesn't have to turn on the full moon.
What is Tyler's relationship with Rebecca and Elijah? I don't think
there is much of one.
Yeah.
I think we're going to find out.
I think Haley is going to be the reason why maybe Close doesn't kill it, because Haley does have that bond with Tyler. So it's interesting. Tyler's going to go to the originals.
But the werewolves are not allowed in the quarter. And by the way, this is also we're speculating that Tyler's going to the originals. We know somebody from Vampire Diaries is making it their way over to the originals, and it now seems like it's Tyler.
I assume it is, because they can't move any of the other big.
Not right now.
I think eventually they will, though. Yeah. And I think that Vampire Diaries will eventually fade into the originals. I think that it'll kind of be
season
the sequel.
5.
Right.
You know, I mean, how many more seasons can we have of this?
Buffy lasted 7.
So it could be
2 more seasons, though. I mean,
and I see that, because I mean, it's kind of like, even with season 5, we're kind of like,
it's like, how much can you develop these characters?
I wonder whether the actors would be willing to do that. You know, I don't know if some of them might be.
To the actors.
No, contractually, definitely they're not going to
sign on for a new show.
Yeah, whether they'd sign on for a new CW vampire show.
Well, I think we'll definitely see if somebody like Nina might decide that she wants to pursue other things, and I don't really see where she fits in the originals. Right. Whereas a different character like a Caroline or a Stefan would make sense. So I think it really is depending on the character and the actor and whether or not they're willing to sign on, or if they'd like to pursue something else.
Yeah, because really the only ones from Vampire Diaries that I don't really see is Elena and Damon.
And Jeremy. I don't see Jeremy.
I could see Bonnie just because the witch.
What about Jeremy?
Yeah, I mean,
or Matt. Like, I can't really see Matt going to.
No, I could because of Rebecca.
That's true. Oh, that's a good point. She's got Marcel down there. She's got
that love story for Matt. Ain't that was just a fling.
That was a fun little summer. That's all.
All right, so we get again. Let's talk about Bonnie real quick. How much longer are we going to have Bonnie over the shoulder?
Well, I don't think much longer.
Hopefully next week we get that resolved.
Yeah. So you do think that Silas is dying?
Week.
It's hysterical that you just referred to her coming back to life as getting that thing resolved.
I mean, in this world, it really does. It's that simple.
Yeah.
Do you kind of feel like it's an invasion? I feel like it's an invasion of Elena's privacy. She's like reading over her shoulder into her diary.
Hey, girl, I'm right here.
Yeah.
Like, what?
It's like, I know she's being a friend and she thinks she's being there for her and she's not missing out on her life, but it's like, ugh.
This is what I'm wondering. How do these witches transport themselves? Are they walking everywhere?
What? They're in a mystical world. I think she can just be where she wants to be. Right? Because she's in that in-between.
I think she just thinks about being being where Elena is. She appears where Elena is.
I think she's watching over all of them and can just be there.
But I think just because she's a witch, because remember when Matt passed, she said you have to go find your body. So as a human, it's different.
Matt, where the hell is Matt?
He wasn't there this episode.
Yeah,
which is weird.
Weird.
After the whole knife incident.
He's under surveillance.
Under his own surveillance.
We get this Whitmore Historical Ball situation. And, well, I guess before we get there, let's talk about Katherine. We remember Nadia had taken her hostage, and Silas wants her, and Nadia says you can have her after a few hours. So it was kind of interesting to see. Now, you actually found out what travelers are, so explain this first.
Okay, because we were very confused about what travelers were, because it seems like they're vampires or witches or something completely different. Gypsies. What they are is, we know that Silas was one, and so was Katsia and Amara. And what they are is they're a subculture of witches, it seems as though. So I think they have similar powers to a witch, but they are also different. So the one thing I question is Nadia a traveler or a vampire, or is she both? Because Silas is technically both.
Well, Silas is a witch,
but he's also currently a vampire.
Right. Where did you find this out?
I just Googled it.
Yeah, and it makes sense, though. Honestly, it really does.
I just found it on Google.
I don't think Nadia is a traveler.
Yeah,
I think maybe she is a vampire who maybe, well, we
works
know
with
that
the travelers.
Yeah, found her way with travelers. I mean, because as we find out, Katherine is her mother, and so where was she?
Mind blown.
Yeah. Awkward watching Nina portray a mom to a woman who looks older than her.
Yeah, that's my problem with it.
Yeah, because
she did a great job, but it's hard. It's hard to watch.
Which also is kind of like, so is she a vampire? Because how are you older than?
Because whenever she turned into a vampire, that's the age she was.
She stops. Okay.
Isn't that how it works?
Yeah.
I thought it was weird that she said she didn't remember where she was when she was 8.
Well, I mean,
when
I was 8.
I mean, I knew where I was living. Actually.
Yeah, you knew.
I knew where I was living.
You know what I mean? It's not like somebody asked you, "What did you have for breakfast on your 8th birthday?"
But it's all, we're also in a new century. That was 14 something. So I mean, to her, she could have been like in the woods.
Yeah, she could, and she also. It seemed as though.
Why was she in the woods?
But she was
because it was 63 or
but
something.
She was given up
in Bulgaria. I'm sure it wasn't really civilized in the sense of now.
Okay.
When did Nadia? Do you think? How did Nadia find out where Katherine was and find out that that was her mother and find out she was a vampire? How did that?
Well, she's been searching for her for 500 years.
But she was given up as a baby. She was like taken from Katherine when she gave birth because she was like an illegitimate child. Taken away. Katherine kills herself, becomes a vampire. Nadia, I'm sure nobody was like, so this is what happened to your mom, and this is why you're an orphan. Your mom's a vampire, and
it probably took some investigating.
Yeah, I'm sure that. Yeah, because I mean, like Katherine is notorious, so you know she knows the name. So she's
once you're in the vampire community, then she did become a vampire.
You know, you go to the forums, you just kind of do the research, and it comes
to the blogs online and stuff. You know,
and honestly, it could be something that's similar because she found her in this age. You know,
and she knew her last name. I mean, she had the same last name.
So that's an interesting little plot storyline we got going on there. I like that because. Also, at the end, we see her being fed to Silas. So it's interesting. There's, is Katherine gonna be alive? Is she gonna be dead?
She's alive.
I mean, she's alive, but is she a vampire or is she human?
That's the question.
And they say, Damon says tonight, she keeps taking these licks and keeps on kicking, and it's like, when this woman can't die. Vampire, human, doesn't matter. She cannot die.
And she walks in and she even says, she's like, Katherine Pierce has escaped death again. I've risen above it. It's like, and then she almost gets killed. But it's so true. She's still there, and it seems to me that she's supernatural of some sort because the way she came back wasn't the way a human would recover from something like that.
And I wonder if we would expect it to be a vampire, but I'm wondering is because she took the cure, now she's almost another being in which she now is the cure. It cures her because she is the vessel for the.
Possibly.
Or like we were saying before, maybe that, or maybe she's come back as a vampire, or also maybe like Matt has that ring and that keeps him from dying when supernatural things, whatever it is. Maybe Damon put something like that on her, did something.
I feel like she is going to be a vampire because they brought the whole "you have a daughter" storyline, which would be like her human.
Yeah,
having
because she
a daughter
needs something to
be
have
human.
her. Yeah.
But now, if she's not going to be human, now she has a daughter, so that's like the human part of her. So I feel like she's going to be a vampire again, and the whole Damon blood in her system, whatever.
I just don't know how I feel about this storyline, her having a daughter. We knew it was going to come out sooner or later because we knew she had a kid. So
I never saw it coming forward. I never thought it was going to be a thing.
Yeah, I never thought it was.
Who is the father of this child?
They said it was like an illegitimate father, wasn't it? I don't think we met him.
I feel like that's going to surface.
I'm sure somehow that will. Although, unless maybe it was just a human. You know what I mean? Someone.
Yeah, but I think it could be an interesting storyline because we've gone on, you want to like Katherine, but you don't like her, and she does certain things that bring you back and forth. I think this is one thing where we can all relate to her.
Who turned Katherine?
Steph.
Was it Elijah?
Yeah, I think it was one of the...
Close.
It's one of the originals.
I wonder if one of the originals is
the father.
That
no, because they couldn't.
They can't reproduce.
Maybe before.
From what we know.
No, but before she wasn't alive.
I thought so because I thought her and Elijah. Remember, they were like reading poetry in the forest, or I don't know.
It's a long time ago. I mean, who knows what impregnated Katherine?
We don't know centuries of Vampire Diaries.
On that note, I remember that on the show we forgot something last week. We were like, who did Caroline date? And
yeah,
we remember who Caroline dated originally, and everybody was like, oh, it was Damon. thank you guys on wherever you guys comment. We're reading it on Twitter, we're reading it on iTunes, we're reading it on YouTube. So if we are commenting like this and we're talking and we're like, wait, what happened? Who turned this person? If you know the answer, you call in, you comment, and we're going to talk about it the next week because we need your help. I mean, we're
even
huge fans.
the feather thing with Bonnie, that was an awesome, just to remember that.
Yeah, and it's hard to come in here watching one episode and trying to remember all of them, so we don't get to piece it together right before we get in here.
So who did Caroline originally date?
Damon.
Oh.
And he was like a dick to her and, you know, used her.
All right.
That.
So now we have a couple other storylines entering. Let's talk about the Whitmore one. We get Dr. Maxfield. But before we get to that, Elena walks to Megan's memorial and she meets this mysterious man whose name is Aaron.
We find out at the end of the episode.
It looked like Maxfield.
We all thought it was Maxfield.
Which is interesting that now we find out Maxfield is the
legal guardian,
but not father. So,
or maybe he's an uncle of some sort, or
it could be something like that.
An older brother, stepbrother.
Yeah.
I kind of felt it was because Aaron said, "Oh, you have control of my trust." I felt it was something like Dr. Maxfield maybe had something to do with the death of Aaron's. His parents, because it just seemed like they were not on good terms. I don't know.
Well, he seems like a troubled guy, Aaron. You know, when we do get to learn a little more about him.
But innocent, though.
Innocent. But, you know, he seems a lot like Elena. I've lost everything. You know, I'm alone. I've literally lost everybody I care about. And when he says that, you can see in Elena's eyes that she's recognizing that she has felt the very same way as he does.
There's survivor guilt.
Oh, my God. Just throwing this out there. How would you guys feel if
Aaron and Elena
eventually becomes a vampire and Elena falls for Aaron in the same sense that Stefan felt for Elena watching the human side?
No.
We're not adding a fourth to this.
None of us are into it.
If Elena's ever with anybody that isn't Stefan or Damon, I'm done.
I think we could get a couple more seasons out of it if we get that.
No.
I don't think it can happen. I just don't think with the characters and the storylines, I just don't think it could happen. I think he could become kind of like a family member, you know, somebody who has gone, because in an essence, they're a family. Caroline, Bonnie, all of them, they are each other's family because they've all lost almost everything. Caroline's the only one who kind of has parents left. A mom. And so all they have is each other. So if he were to become a vampire, I think he would just be an added fixture into that.
The fact that Dr. Maxfield doesn't want him to associate with Elena at all means that he absolutely is going to, and he's going to play a key role in her getting to know Dr. Maxfield's plan.
I mean, we say that nobody has family left, but we still haven't figured anything more about Elena's dad, what he's doing in that photograph.
So from what we know, they don't have family left.
And how, you know, maybe the Maxfield and Elena's father and the Gilberts are tied together.
I think they are, because he seemed to know a lot about Elena before she got to that school.
Right.
And who are the people watching her and her friends? And
he's like, the wrong people will start to ask questions. Like, is there a council at Whitmore?
Right.
I really love the whole, like, vampire diary, vampire testing that's going on that Dr. Maxfield is performing.
With
like,
Jesse? I don't love that.
He calls him 62547.
Yep,
Yeah.
62547.
I don't like that.
Buffy.
I like it for the show, though. I mean, I don't know if they do this on Buffy, but I mean, we haven't experimented with them, you know, and it's like, of course, us being humans, we want to know as much as we can about
brings
vampire
it to more reality.
diaries. So it does. It brings it to reality for us.
But they're not testing. He said he'll be the perfect subject.
Candidate for
so
what?
he's been planning
He wants to build something, and what is it that he wants to build?
What made him the perfect
vampire
candidate?
that kills vampires, maybe?
He was just saying in his observations he would be the perfect candidate. He didn't really specify what about him is going to make him that. But I just feel for Jesse. It's like it's the same thing with like animal testing. Like he doesn't have a say in this. You know, he's just testing him like he's not a human.
And he's hungry.
I mean, you can bring in all the Frankenstein symbolism as well, because he's kind of using Jesse as his new Frankenstein.
And maybe to see this might be a way for Caroline to kind of get out of the Tyler groove and help Jesse through his vampire.
I think you just feel connected to him because he's another Jesse.
I don't at all, actually. I forget his name most of the time. But honestly, I feel connected with him because I love Caroline so much that I liked
Their connection. I
enjoyed it.
Do we think that Maxfield, as much as we are led to believe he's not a good guy and that he's a bad guy, could he be okay? I mean, right now he's not saying, I'm going to kill all you vampires. I'm going to tell everybody you're vampires. He's saying, you need to drop out. You need to go back to Mystic Falls because people around here are going to ask questions and you're not going to like what's happening. So is he, yes, he's testing, but is he doing it to find answers and to know more, or is he doing it in a malicious way?
I don't know. And how did he know that Elena and Caroline were vampires?
I see it becoming malicious. I think maybe at first it's, figuring stuff out, and then kind of, because as whatever he is, because we don't even know if he really is human, he doesn't know the world that Elena and Caroline really come from. I mean, they've had seasons and seasons of witchcraft and opening
years and years.
But yeah,
5 seasons to be exact.
But I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like, we've watched how many seasons of witchcraft and opening portals and things that, if he's just trying to learn about vampires, this stuff might blow his mind, and his what he may want to move forward with may not align with what they need to do.
But I kind of think the opposite, though. I think that it might be malicious now, but it might change because I think once you get to know these people, you see them more as humans.
That's a good point. I feel like curiosity breeds ambition, though. And so what started as maybe questions will turn into a plan, will turn into power.
Like, is he going to stop them from killing Silas? Like, is Silas going to have to work with them to go against Dr. Maxfield? There's so many ways it can go. And
but he also doesn't say right out, I know you're a vampire. He says, you and your friends need to leave. He doesn't say, I know you're a vampire. I know how you became a vampire. This is how I know you. He doesn't reveal anything.
Well, he does say he knows that vampires exist when he talks about the bite.
But he doesn't say anything specific to Caroline or Elena. So maybe he knows Elena's father. And therefore he knows her father was involved with vampires, and therefore she's involved with vampires, and
I feel like
maybe he thinks it's going to be something negative. Maybe he thinks to protect Elena. You know what I mean? Like, let's just play devil's advocate in that sense. Maybe, no, you and your friends, I promised your father
that I would protect you.
And there's something bad going on here,
I feel like we're not going to get very far with the Dr. Maxfield story until we wrap up things with Silas. And it's obvious that they're wrapping things up with Silas and Katsia to then transition into this Dr. Maxfield plan.
I hope so.
Do we know, sorry, this is a little off topic going back, but do we know what Catherine's parents looked like? Because I'm wondering if all doppelgangers' parents have to look the same.
No, I don't think so. And also, there was a doppelganger prior to Katherine, so it would be very.
Yeah, because Amara was
the first, and then there was another, and then there was Katherine, and then there's Elena.
For all we know, there's another one out there currently. So I'm wondering if that person's parents looked like Elena's parents, and then
I don't know. But wasn't Elena adopted?
No, Elena's parents.
There's an identical universe out there.
The only the only doppelgangers are Stefan and Elena. Those faces.
Right now, because the previous...
now.
Katherine is a doppelganger.
No, but I'm saying, you know what I mean?
Those are the only doppelgangers. Although those are the only doppelgangers, you would think that the parents would have to look similar enough to produce kids that looked like that.
That's too scientific for vampire.
Yeah, it's supernatural.
And actually, now to think about it, we did meet Catherine's parents when they took away the baby and all of that, and they weren't Elena's parents.
No.
Who knows with the whole
I hate talking about doppelganger anything.
I love the doppelgangers.
I don't know how you love
There's too many. It's like, how many were there? How many are there?
It's like a cheat, in my opinion.
So Damon wants to work with Silas. How did you guys feel about that?
I think he's got good intentions.
Yeah, I agree. Although I really like what Stefan said to him at that one point, how you're just trying to prove that you're a worthy boyfriend to Elena, because he is. Like, at the end of the day, that's what his motive is.
But who isn't, though? Who isn't always trying to prove that they are worthy of the love that they receive?
That's a good point.
I don't even think it's just about being worthy. I think it's about doing something for somebody you love, wanting to do something good for somebody you love. And I do think, this Stefan is new Stefan, so we don't know him that well, but at least old Stefan, if Damon had explained, why he was snapping his neck, Stefan would have let him snap his neck.
Oh, yeah, and he said that exactly to a T. But at the same time, do you think Damon is doing it because he naturally cares for Elena, or do you think it is a little bit hey, Stefan's back. There might still be something there. You think that it could be both?
Both.
I don't. I think he's always cared for Elena, and he's always everything he's done. I feel like has been about Elena, or she's always been
Just
a factor.
Okay.
I think that's true, but I think he's more motivated now to keep her because there's competition.
I agree, but this new Stefan isn't much competition that he knows of. Like, he doesn't know what went down between Elena and Stefan. I also have a bone to pick with him. I don't like him. I don't like new Stefan.
Yeah.
New Stefan's awful.
I kind of love him.
That's kind of a big bone to pick
Yeah.
with somebody.
And I think it was perfect that he was dressed as the James Dean. And
it was that's just, he looks like that character.
I mean, I just love seeing a blank slate of a person because, yes, all of our memories and everything that's ever happened to us, that's what makes up who we are today. And seeing someone get erased, I mean, I love it. I absolutely love it.
And it was interesting, the costumes that everyone wore, because we had
Anne Boleyn.
but we had James Dean. James Dean's very mysterious, and right now Stefan is playing that role. Maxfield, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. Who is this guy? By day he's this, but by night who is he? I really don't know with Elena where they were going with that one.
Well, they said the thing that stuck out to me is that her character that she played got beheaded with a sword.
Well,
so I was like, is that foreshadowing at all?
It's the Boleyn sisters. Weren't there two of them in love with the same man? Whereas there's two men in love with the same women,
Nice,
and they're brothers.
thank you.
I think that's
Okay.
That's
I think
where
that
it
would
is
make
from.
sense.
I haven't read the books about the Boleyn sisters, but from what I know, they were sisters in love with the same man or sleeping with the same man.
There we go. All right, so we get there. We find Tessa is there dressed as Cleopatra.
Can't even call her Tessa. I feel like she changed her name.
Yeah.
You can't change your name.
No, not that as many years. You've
Not
had
when
it for
you're
how
that
long?
notorious for being Katsia. You can't just be, I'm Tessa now. It's like, Tessa's the girl I met in high school. You're
Right.
not Tessa.
No, you're an evil witch.
Yeah.
Which I don't even know if I want to call her an evil witch, because I think she's just
hurt.
scorned and whatever.
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, she cried.
She's
after
evil to her core.
You think so?
Right now, I think she's on a. I mean, I don't think maybe one day back in the day she was a bad person, but now she clearly is.
No, I think it's all revenge because when she kills Silas, she cries, and someone who's completely evil does not have that kind of emotion.
And
She doesn't cry. She didn't kill him.
Well, she partially
I
killed
mean-
him. She somewhat killed him.
As much as she could,
She, like,
because he
froze
can't
him.
die.
But, she obviously still has feelings for him. The only person she's really done any harm to in life
Stefan.
is Silas and now Stefan. But that was just a result of Silas.
Okay, with Stefan. Well, all right, so she did this thing where she erased Stefan's mind, which causes Silas to not be able to have powers.
Psychic abilities.
Right, so do you see... I mean, for a moment, I felt like, in a way, she was kind of...
Making a new Silas.
Yeah, did you get that from
It
tonight's
felt
episode?
like that because she went directly to him. Mm-hmm. And knowing
why
it was
else-
Stefan.
Yeah, and why else would she...
What do you mean making a new Silas?
Meaning, they look exactly alike, and he's a blank canvas. She can kind of morph him and paint him
Right.
to be...
The Silas she loved. Or the one she thought she loved.
Yeah, because I like that line we got about how girls, no matter how bad it ended, will always
A
love
woman
their
never
first
forgets her
love.
first love, no
Yeah.
matter how badly it ended. Yeah.
Which, did you guys kind of want a moment where Silas was playing Stefan? I kind of wanted a moment where she was playing along, kind of like, no, I know you're Silas. Because to me, that's kind of like,
We kind of got that moment because he kind of slipped up and was like, oh, I remember... You're the woman who this, and she's
Yeah,
like,
and she
"You
said, I
shouldn't
never told you
shouldn't
that.
know that.
But
yeah.
what an easy cover-up. Like,
Yeah.
Like, they told me.
Yeah.
Here's my thing.
So dumb.
Right now, Silas is technically a human again.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm assuming that curse maybe doesn't apply anymore because he doesn't have his ability to read minds anymore.
Well, I don't
I would
know what his
assume-
power as a witch is.
As a witch, maybe. I'm just wondering if now Stefan is back or if we have to wait for Silas to be dead to have Stefan back. Because we found that if you kill Stefan, Silas gets his power back. So I'm assuming if you kill Silas, Stefan will get his memory back.
Yeah, I hope so, because like
That's a
I'm-
good
too
one.
much.
it is
Yeah.
too much.
No, because I don't think that's how they're linked. I don't think that he would get his memory back. I think that was fried.
Really? I don't think we can go without him having his memory again. I don't think that him losing every connection to every person.
We can move forward with Vampire Diaries.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
Because when Bonnie comes back, he won't know her. And
that's a good point. I was thinking more maybe when Silas was totally dead.
Well, that's what I mean, yeah.
Oh, you don't mean dead like the heart.
Like right now.
No, I mean right now. No, not right now. I mean either when he becomes a human or when he is officially dead.
I think officially
and his
dead,
heart is completely stopped.
Because I see them wanting to play with this blank Stefan for a little longer.
I really want this blank Stefan to date Caroline.
I've said that before,
I don't want that.
I want
that's
it.
messy.
What's wrong with you guys?
That's messy, and then it will forever, as a Stelena fan, ruin the Stelena relationship. I guess it really wouldn't because Damon messed with Caroline.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's just all about Caroline and Klaus.
Yeah, that's what
I'm holding out for it.
I'm team
I mean,
Caroline.
I want that too, but I just feel like they've always been close, and Vampire Diaries have hinted at it so many times.
No, because I felt that with what's her name? What was his friend? I always forget her name.
Jessica?
No. No,
that was her name.
Lexi.
Lexi.
I always forget her name. I always felt that from them.
But there was never any.
But it was never
So
that.
maybe not.
And I like that about it. But then him with Rebecca, and maybe he sees Caroline. I don't know.
No, I think it's a Lexi type of relationship. He's always had one in his life. I don't think he has much trust towards men, especially the way that Damon has treated him and his father has treated him. So maybe he's just more comfortable trusting in a person like Lexi or Caroline.
So yeah, then we get to the end where we see they bring. So she gets a pendant. I'm sorry. Before
what was the deal with this?
Nadia gets this pendant,
all
which
of a sudden,
creates
not Nadia.
Nadia.
Tessa.
God, all these damn names. Tessa finds her pendant, which gives her more power.
She feeds off of it.
To find this
mystical
anchor that the travelers are in control of.
This is where it just gets to be a little too much for me.
Yeah, it's like, why are the travelers in charge of the anchor?
And what is the anchor?
Because they killed her.
Right, but we've never heard of the anchor.
I think the anchor's going to be a human.
we've never heard of the pendant, and we never, all these things.
What do you guys, I think the anchor's going to be a human.
No.
That would be really cool.
Because it's something that's been around for 2,000 years, so it's definitely not a human being.
Supernatural.
It could be transferred. Or it could be, I don't know, it couldn't be a human.
I don't think it's a human, but
transferred.
Is it a link that's keeping her alive, right? Isn't that what it is?
No, it's keeping
the other side.
The other side alive. But Bonnie was saying how it's got to be something big, like the moon, to bind it to. So, I mean, I don't know what it is.
I don't see them destroying the moon.
It's not the moon, but she was saying it's something that big.
But it's also something that can move.
So is it something like the Moonstone, from previous seasons, the Moonstone that Klaus was after? Like, is it something similar to that?
Could be.
That's like a part of the moon?
I hope that it's a person, sort of, that we care about, because that would add conflict.
Maybe it's a knife.
Well, because
ooh, that knife.
You're right.
The knife.
It's the knife.
That's exactly what it is.
Roxy,
good job.
you're so smart.
She's so good.
It's definitely the knife.
That was a good moment for me.
Yeah.
I think it's because we didn't see it all episode.
Yeah.
It didn't even.
I'm glad you brought that. That was a good one.
You're so smart.
It's the knife, people.
I feel really good about myself right now, team.
You should.
You should.
That's good.
I'm happy now.
It was Tessa in the grand ballroom with the knife. Right, because we got weeks back Nadia saying, or not Nadia.
Whatever that crazy guy's name.
Whatever the guy's name is
I don't
inside
know his
Matt.
name.
He held. It begins with a G. He held. Something like that. He held up the knife and said, "Don't lose this. People are going to come looking for this."
Right.
So
protect
now
it with
we have
your
to.
life.
Now we have to worry about Matt, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm worried about Matt. Because he has to protect that with his life.
But if why can't he should just give it up? Because if he gives it to her, then all our problems kind of go away, right?
And then
Matt will die.
Yeah.
That's his throat.
But that covers both what we wanted. It's a thing, but it's somebody that we care about has it. So
yeah,
I'm excited.
Not that I want Matt to be in this situation.
Or the knife could play a role with as a key to something.
Yeah.
But yeah, the knife is definitely coming back, and that's why we haven't heard from it, to get it out of our minds. We can be like, oh yeah.
Like, what is it?
Roxy, you need to wear those glasses every week.
I'm looking smart today, y'all.
So, I don't know. I kind of don't hate Tessa.
I don't hate her.
Kind of am into her. And I feel like she's going to help them in some way.
I feel like we're finally at a place where I know who everybody is and I understand what's going on, but it just took a while.
Yeah, I don't know why I keep getting Nadia and Tessa confused, but I am. And
They came at the same time.
The reason I'm trying not to like Tessa too much, well, first of all, it's not that difficult to not like her. She does have some ish, but she can't last forever. She definitely can't. You know, she's not here to stay.
She needs to be at
Well,
peace.
I think as soon as Silas is dead, she'll be dead. I think she wants to go, but she needs to see this scene through to the end. Mm-hmm. I don't know, though.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, that's really what it goes down to. And so as he's frozen, we get Katherine. Damon feeds her to him. He comes awake. She's awoken. And
Do you think Damon didn't care if she died? Like, he just hit that point where he finally didn't care if Katherine died?
It definitely looked that way.
I
And
think
Elena,
he looked at the
too.
bigger picture.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? We need Bonnie over you.
And I think everyone was just fed up with her.
Because she's such a burden now, especially as a human. It's like,
Yeah.
oh,
There have
God.
been multiple times where she didn't care if Damon died.
Yeah. But they've always seemed to care if Katherine dies. As much as they want to kill Katherine, they never kill her. Mm-hmm. She's always there.
Yeah, I thought Elena was going to stop it. I was
I did
surprised
too.
that she didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know the human Elena would have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great point.
But also, the vampire Elena gave her the cure, so they're two different Elenas.
Very true.
True that. On that note, let's head into predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
So next week, Silas clearly takes the cure, and they're going to be focused on bringing Bonnie back.
And I hope it works.
What do you guys?
Oh, dear God, please let that work because I can't with Bonnie right now. I can't have her be.
I
this
don't.
ghost.
You see it happening next week?
No, I don't
think,
see it happening next week.
I'm gonna give it 2 to 3 episodes.
I think 2.
I can't handle it anymore. Like, if it doesn't happen next week, it better be an awesome storyline.
Yeah, I feel like we're over her being a ghost. She's been a ghost for 5 episodes now, or more, essentially, because the last couple episodes of the last season. I just want this storyline to be over. I think it's run its course, and I think it will be over. And I think we're really going to transition into learning more about Whitmore, learning more about Maxfield, and seeing how Maxfield uses Jesse, because I don't think Jesse's just going to be Jesse. He's going to be a pawn in Maxfield's game.
I don't think that Caroline and Elena are going to be that quick to leave Whitmore. I think that they're going to stay there, and there's definitely a future for Jesse and Caroline. I think.
I sure hope so.
I really like Blank Stefan, so I'm just going to say whatever he decides to do will be forgiven when he comes back and remembers stuff as Stefan.
Yeah.
So I'm completely fine if him and Caroline have a little hookup.
Yeah, but Caroline's not Blank Caroline.
Yeah, that's.
I know, but she needs a rebound because she's gonna be so sad that Jesse's on a table somewhere. Okay,
I think Elena would be
Frankenstein.
Well, no, I see
moment.
Elena and Caroline kind of snooping and finding Jesse.
Yeah,
Oh, you
I
do?
see that
Yeah.
too.
Elena would not be pleased with Caroline if she slept with Stefan.
I don't
I
think
don't
it's
say
happening.
sleep.
She
Just
just
make out sesh. Never hurt anybody, right?
I think the hand thing was enough for me.
I don't think that's going to happen, but I think maybe along what you said, if he's not a pawn in Maxfield's game, maybe they'll find him.
Mm-hmm. And I like it. I like that we've never had this. Finally, we're bringing school back to Vampire Diaries, because while they were in high school, we were never in the damn high school.
How they passed, I don't know.
Right. And so, well, clearly Maxfield is like, bitch, you ain't even smart enough to be in this class.
Yeah.
So go back to, maybe that's what he was talking about. Go back, take your dumb ass back to
He was confident though. He was like, "I'll never see you again. Peace. Like, I'll never lay eyes on you."
So, I mean, I don't know. I like the Whitmore thing. I'm excited because it's a new energy. It's bringing technology into it. And I'm done with this
21st century.
all the ancient stuff. I'm over that for a little bit.
For a little bit. I like it here and there, or in a flashback sense.
Exactly. But next week we'll probably be focused on what Roxy already figured out for us, is finding the knife and figuring out that Matt has that. So you're probably right with Bonnie being not next week, but the following
And
week.
they'll also learn more about, because Silas read her mind. He knows what the anchor is. And Silas is working with Damon, who's working with Jeremy, who knows what happened to Matt. So
Connecting the dots,
let's
baby.
connect them all. All right, we want to thank you guys. Also, make sure you guys connect with us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at AfterBuzz TV. Check us out on iTunes and help us get to #1 by subscribing to our podcast. It's free. Vampire Diaries AfterBuzz TV. Just type it in the search bar. Real simple. Just hit subscribe. Free. free. Please help us get to number 1. You guys can keep the conversation going with us. Again, if we missed anything, let's talk about it during the week.
Yeah.
You can tweet me, Instagram me at DJ Jesse J.
You can Bing my blog, Cinematic Escape, or you can tweet me at Cinematic Escape.
And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Paige Sullivan.
And I'm at Roxy Striar, and happy Halloween to everybody.
Yes, happy Halloween. Until next week, same time, same place. Peace.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.